Alrighty, guys. Wrong screen. How you all doing? Nurbo here. Hope everyone's having a good day. Lions wins game 3 in their best of 5 series with 100 Thieves there. Zombie, how you doing? How you doing? Big PP energy. Yep, only the biggest of PP energy. We are going to jump into some news and trailers. I have it buried in my trailers, but by the time we get to it, I think I wasn't gonna really say anything because I usually let the trailers do the talking. But it's kind of buried in my trailers right now, so I feel like I kind of need to go ahead and say this now anyway, because it's something that we've all been waiting for. But essentially, there's a trailer out there, and it has been announced that the Silksong game will be releasing on September 4, which is like 2 weeks from now. So that's kind of crazy to go from not a single freaking word for almost 8 years to like 2 weeks from now it's coming out. They kind of outdid Nintendo there, because Nintendo is in the habit of doing shit like that, where it's like they don't say anything and then all of a sudden it's like, this is out next week or next month. So yep. But outside of that, let's jump into some other news. I hate that this ad popped up right in that spot and I can't remove it. Oh well. But we will do what we can. Where's my little window? There it is. Mortal Kombat 1 has sold over 6.2 million units. Congratulations to NetherRealms. To clarify, Mortal Kombat 1 is not the first ever Mortal Kombat for the Sega Genesis or Nintendo Entertainment System. It's the one that came after, what was it, 10 or something like that? Or 9? Something like that. It's one of the more recent ones. They kind of restarted the timeline and they called it Mortal Kombat 1. So, yeah. Confusing, I know, but that's what that is. Following that, let's jump into PlayStation Plus catalog. By the way, this is like technically 2 weeks worth of news. There's not a lot, mainly because there was Gamescom, so like not too much news, a lot of trailers, if anything. So we will get through this quick and then jump into a bunch of trailers. So, PlayStation Plus game catalog for the month of August. I'm starting to think my mouse is starting to go. Scroll wheel is not working really well. First up, Mortal Kombat 1. Really? What's all this? This is nothing, huh? So there's a new game trailer for Death Stranding 2 on the beach. You get to like enjoy up to 5 hours of gameplay of that. Then you got Mortal Kombat 1 up at PS5. You got Marvel Spider-Man PS4 and 5. Sword of the Sea on PS5. Earth Defense Force 6, PS4 and 5. Unicorn Overlord on PS4 and 5. Yeah. I think it's just the site. Yeah, it's working fine now. It's weird. Altair Ryza 3, Alchemist of the End and the Secret Key, PS4 and 5. Indica, PS5. Harold Halibut on PS5. Coral Island on PS5. And PlayStation Plus Premium people will get Resident Evil 2 on PS4 and PS5. Resident Evil 3, these are the old games, not the remakes. Nemesis on PS4 and 5. And that seems to be it. Doesn't look like they're removing anything, so that's good. No, MK1 is the first Mortal Kombat for the PC, PS5. Yes, it's the next one in the series that they restarted the timeline, essentially. They did some timeline shit. It's not like a remake or anything like that. Next up, we have Game Pass. So it happens when you do 2 weeks in a row. You get one from the other. They're like windows. Yes, windows, yes. I'm not even sure where that's going. I don't know how to count. Yes, exactly. So, Game Pass. We start off with Blacksmith Master. That's a game preview. I find it interesting that they're starting to do this thing. Like, this is practically a demo, right? Like, game previews and, like, game trials that they're calling these things, they're basically demos. Why can't they just be demos anymore? Now we're doing previews and trials? Like, that's so weird. Void Breaker on PC. Goat Simulator Remastered on Xbox Series X and S. Persona 4 Golden on cloud, console, and PC. All of this stuff is out now already, by the way. Hurdling will be on cloud, console, and PC. Gears of War Reloaded, that's cloud, console, and PC. That'll be out on the 26th. Dragon Age The Field Guard will be out on the 28th for cloud, console, and PC. Heretic plus Hexen, I did hear about this. This is out now as well. These are the old games. I guess they kind of remastered them even though they didn't put them down as a remaster, because I don't know how that even plays on cloud, console, and PC without a proper remaster, to be honest. Delta Force Immortal Supplies bundle. That's available now. These are perks, so like for your kind of life service games. Phantasy Star Online 2 Genesis August member monthly bonus. You get that as well. And as of the 31st, we will be saying goodbye to Ben 10 Power Trip, Borderlands 3, Paw Patrol Mighty Pups Save an Adventure Bay, Sea of Stars, which is actually a really good game. We Go Boom is actually in the middle of a playthrough of this, so hopefully he's not playing that on Game Pass, because he's got only a few days left. This War of Mine Final Cut, all that will be leaving as of the 31st, so yeah, get that in while you still can. How's it going, Seth? Hey, Mr. What do you think of the Nintendo Switch 2 running Elden Ring capped 15? It doesn't surprise me. Nintendo will continue to be Nintendo and still be behind the curve, sadly. It's a real shame, too, because a lot of games that the Switch 2 is struggling with, the Steam Deck can run fine. Now, arguably that has to do with the Steam OS and not so much the hardware. The Steam OS is just a marvelous piece of software. It's just really the truth about it, because the Steam OS just has so much more options in changing a lot of that stuff so that it runs smoother in terms of like resolution and stuff like that. So, yeah. It just goes to show how great the Steam OS is. And Nintendo just can't get their shit right for third-party people. They do a great job first-party. Nintendo first-party games will always be phenomenal and always run phenomenally. But sadly, the support for the third-party is just not there. So if you're buying a Switch to play Elden Ring, you probably bought the wrong console. Just saying. You should buy Switches to play Nintendo games. That's just the honest truth. Didn't even allow recording on the Elden Ring's first gameplay in the fest. I believe it. The Nintendo is very good at keeping its public image clean, and they don't like to associate themselves with anything that's not Nintendo. So that doesn't surprise me. But anyway, moving on here. PlayStation 5 has decided to increase its prices. It's a little kind of sad, but I guess that's the way of the world. Effective already now, to be honest, this is the 21st that this went into effect. We're basically going to see a $50 increase across all their consoles. So PlayStation 5 will be now $550 instead of $500. The digital will be for $500 instead of $450, and the Pro will now be $750 instead of $700. Kind of crazy considering the Pro is already a little expensive, but yeah, it's a $50 increase. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be real honest with you. It's so stupid. Like, this is just them trying to make more money, and they're using tariffs as an excuse. Cause like, do they really need the $50 extra? Do they really need the $50 extra? There's still profit there. There's still profit there. So you're just raising. It's so dumb. If anything, they're just making it harder to sell it. It just makes no sense. It honestly just makes no sense. The problem with capitalism is that you forget that the consumer are people and their money is worth something to them, and like, you can't just take everything they have. You need to give them a product that they're happy to spend their money on while also still surviving, so they can continue to spend money on your products. Not trying to clean house on them as fast as possible. But that is the problem with corporate. When all your views are based on exponential growth instead of like, how much money did we make this year? Great, we had a good year. Yay, profit. You know, instead of like celebrating, hey, we had a profitable year. We're all in the green. Everyone made money. Yay. No, we didn't make an extra billion. A fun fact, I'm not reporting this because I don't do this kind of news. The numbers finally came out about Game Pass. Do you guys have any idea how much Game Pass actually makes? And they complained about how there's a lot of like talk about how like, oh, Game Pass is not actually profitable, this and that, right? Game Pass, let me clarify. Game Pass alone makes $5 billion. $5 billion is what Game Pass makes. Game Pass alone. If you look at the statistics, whenever they put out numbers of players and all that stuff, Game Pass accounts for less than 50% of players. Statistically, on most, not all, but nearly all. It's a good 80% of games that go on Game Pass. It's less than 50% of the players. That means that company still sold over 50% of the copies. That is insane amount of money. That is an insane amount of money. And then, like, we have all these layoffs happening somehow. Doesn't make sense to me. Like, that literally makes no sense to me. Mathematically, every game is a success at that point. Like, it makes no sense. But anyway, moving on. We now get to do the fun stuff. Enough with the icky corporate stuff. We get to do the fun stuff, and we get to jump into game trailers. So, our first game is going to be a game called Gloomy Eyes. This might be a game for you, Zombie, by the way, because I know you do a lot of like platformer and indie games, but this is one's right up your alley with the horror as well.
That's Gloomy. Always looking for something to play with and chasing fireflies. Nina, she was different. I'd known that since the day she arrived. She was investigating the son's disappearance. She wanted to find him. There are other stories I could tell about those days.
It's like, I don't think it's a scary game, but it's horror themed, which kind of suits your channel.
This is the one people need to hear.
Right? It does look cool. Really pretty looking game.
These children didn't know they would rattle the world.
If it's co-op, right? If it's co-op, that's a Mind Melt Monday a game, you know? Coming soon. PC and console. Yeah, so keep an eye on that. This is a pretty old trailer, so there's probably a release date on this at this point. Good night, Sam. You have a good sleeps. Next game is a game called How to Escape Lost Submarine. This is definitely a Mind Melt Monday game. For sure.
Right, I'm in the submarine. Do you read me?
Loud and clear. Let's go find that torpedo.
Roger that. Okay, I see your panel with
6 knobs.
Yes. Turn the red one.
They're all red.
I don't understand. How?
Triangle, square, circle, triangle.
Got it. So that means 41, 31, 22. Try.
It didn't work. Are you holding the phone upside down again?
I got 2 sheets. Which one is pointy?
They're both kind of pointy.
I love you, but I knew we were gonna lose this sub because you don't know your sheet.
wait. Got it.
Nice. Let's try the red axis this time.
Perfect. Yes.
There's one near the island with the holes just to the left of it.
I don't see an island with holes.
What?
Oh wait. Yes, there it is. Ha. Apparently, the detection officer is the only one with a tattoo on his hand.
I don't see him.
The redhead with curly hair.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's Lillibert.
What?
Boom! Nailed it! Yes!
I really feel like you and Cooch would be great for this game. Also, like,
I can't believe we didn't
I'm
screw
pretty
it up.
sure if she's playing on her phone, you just need a
Always
web
trying to
browser
go
for
again.
the other person.
You can actually tell a triangle from a trapezoid this time.
Looks interesting. I'm glad to see more games like that, actually. They have, like, an interesting interface for people to play with, so you don't have to buy, like, 2 copies, really. Following that game, we have another game. Called Project Motor Racing.
Rated E for everyone.
When we sat down to conceptualize what career mode in Project Motor Racing would look like, our intention was to get players to think like professional racers and work backwards from there. In other words, how do you turn hot lap heroes into seasoned drivers feeling the pressure of real pros who don't approach each weekend ready to rewrite multiple chapters of the record books? Central to that and to career mode
go grab
is an
a water
authentic
while this
motorsports
plays.
economy.
So be right
Your
back.
goal here isn't to win every single event, and there aren't any prize cars to unlock. It's you against your wallet because, well, that's racing, isn't it? Motorsport isn't particularly equal or fair. You'll start by selecting one of 3 financial backstories. Whether you want to replicate a rags to riches story, jump into the middle of the ladder right away, or take a shot at the very top echelons of motorsport is up to you and your ambitions. You'll then be asked to find a location for your team shop. Whether your team is based in North America, Europe, or Asia, that'll influence the prices of cars and event entry fees. And just like real racing, everything's available from the start. Whether you can afford it or not, though, will be based on your team's finances. You can make your life a little easier by selecting from one of 8 sponsorship models, our way of simulating the negotiations that go on every offseason between teams and the brands who support them. Each sponsorship model offers a different type of financial support. Some will merely give you a flat fee for showing up, others will pay your travel costs or repairs, and some will demand very
Nice
specific
streak
results.
there, Ocelot.
It's on you whether you play it
How you
safe
doing?
or risk it all and make a push for the championship. You'll begin career mode in the off-season, where you can enter any championship or one-off endurance race if you can afford it. What happens out on the track after that is on you. Wins, podiums, and sponsorships can keep your finances in the black, but travel costs and damage repairs will constantly eat into your wallet, sometimes a little more than you anticipated. And just like real racing, you might be surprised at the paycheck come season's end. It's not the 80s anymore, and that one dive for glory into turn 1 could wipe out your entire career in one split second. Be careful. This is Pro Motorsport.
I kind of like that. It might sound weird, but I do like a little bit of, like, realism to my racing. Especially when you're playing, like, a career mode. You know? Next up is a game called Crosswind.
What will he do with a drunken sailor? What will
looks really cool. It looks like they took a lot of the cool stuff from a lot of other games and just threw it in there. Could be pretty good. I'm also liking that it's looking like a survival game. Kind of like Enshrouded is kind of a survival game. You know what I mean? But like at the same time, Enshrouded has like a quest and campaign going on. I am liking that. I'm liking that survival games are not just sandboxes anymore. Or a lot of the new ones aren't, which is nice. Because I'm the type of person that needs the carrot on the stick. I need direction. Next up is a game called Fatal Run 2089.
They always said my luck would dry up. Now it's time to put that to the test.
The Enlightened offer a reward for the capture of the Renegade Runner and his cargo.
Don't let them get anywhere near the Ark.
You're beyond any talk of redemption. Prepare your soul for death.
No one ever says goodbye anymore.
Survive our trials, and then you'll earn our favor.
We can't save anyone if the Ark is ruined.
Don't you desire to soar to a new level of existence?
Tick-tock, renegade.
Look out!
Okay. Curious. Next up is a game called Chain Echoes, Ashes of Elrond. For all my RPG people. And that's out already, apparently. That's what happens when you have such a backlog of trailers. But doing a good job actually clearing a lot of them too, which is nice. Although this weekend kind of messed that up again. But it's okay. Next up is a game that I can't believe they're making still. Here's a game called Bobble Bobble Sugar Dungeons. I don't know about you, but I used to play Bobble Bobble games back on Nintendo or Entertainment System when I was like 8. I can't believe that they're bringing the franchise back. Very different from the old Bobble Bobble though. Like the levels are a lot more like puzzles now, it seems. And there's power-ups and all that stuff now. Interesting. This is very different from what it used to be. Interesting. Yeah, I can't believe they're bringing that franchise back. You know how old that franchise is, man? That shit died with the Nintendo Entertainment System. Next up is a game called Code Rapid.
Do you want to know how to fix a link that has no purpose?
New face, huh? Follow my orders and maybe you'll make it past your first assignment. Step aside. There's neither money nor honor in dying here for a futile cause. You are not cut out for this. You can't stop what's coming.
It's essentially Armored Core.
If you want to survive here, just take the credits and do what you're told. Don't let your ambitions distract you from what we're doing. You know, at this rate, you will have to
Create your own purpose from nothing.
This looks cool, right? How you doing, Ty? Right up your alley, Mr. Armored Core. Mr. I love Armored Core more than any other game in the world. That's right up your alley right there. Code Rapid, remember it. Next up is a game called Recharge. This looks pretty cool and pretty fun. You know what this got me thinking of? Again, man, this is just me being old. Does anyone remember the little Sega game called Micro Minis? This is kind of racing, but like RC cars. This reminds me so much of that. It's not the same like top-down gameplay, but still, like just the theme and the style. The sand dune level and everything, like it makes me think of that. Like this is like Micro Minis if they kept the franchise going and made it 3D. It's cool. It's really cool. There should be early access for this already if you guys are interested. So yeah, check that out. Alright, next up is a game called... no, we're going to remove that. I'm not going to do Destiny 2 Edge of Fate. That's been out for a while and it's kind of meh. So we're going to move on to another game called Day of the Shell. I like tactics games. So like, this really kind of looked cool. The other thing that I really liked about it is that it was, as you can see, it's kind of time oriented. So like, you already know what's gonna happen before it happens, and then you gotta like, you're basically playing a chess match. It's just really cool. This looks cool, right? It's like the Slay the Spire thing where it's like you know what they're gonna do. Now you have to use what you have to try to like defend and keep fighting. I like the art style too. Really well done. Alrighty. Next up, we might have time for like one or two more, depending on how quick it is. Next one is a game called Turbo Kid. There you go. That'll run 60 frames per second. If there even is 60 frames in it. At least 4. It says based on the cult classic, but like, I have no clue what cult classic this is. Never heard of Turbo Kid. Big Daddy's here. How you doing, Easy? Alright, that should be out now already. Next up, we have time for one more here, and then I gotta give my time to Zombie here and do some stuff. Next up is Reaper Actual.
Day in Morova. Come on, let's move.
Incoming transmission. Welcome back, Reaper. The Elysium Research Facility has been infiltrated.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. I didn't do fucking shit.
Good hanging around. Cool. This seems like I feel like this is right up of Easy's, like, yeah. This is something you should look into, Easy. I think this is right up your alley. Because just so you guys know, like, it's not doing it justice, but this is supposed to be basically like an open world extraction shooter, where you build up your base and all that stuff.
Beautiful day in Morova.
Yeah. It says here, it's an open world persistent shooter where players are deployed to the field as Reapers to engage in fast-paced FPS combat, mixed with the persistence of an MMORPG on the island of Marov. Players will be given a base which act as their home base for every deployment. So like, you basically get a base as your deployment. It's an open world, and I guess you go around PvP and robbing everyone else's base. Doesn't look too bad for pre-alpha gameplay.
Coming soon.
So like, looks like there'll be a mix of like protecting your stuff as well as stealing other people's stuff. Should make for like a heavy gameplay action. But yep, that should do it for trailer time and news and all that stuff. So let's see, Zombie. Are you still? Let me just go into the Discord because you're there.